Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a brief, just introduction, just showing you where I'm at. So I have my little home office here. You can see I got my computer, pencils and pens, dry erase is my board, coffee, window, and so hey, whoa, that's kind of cool. Look at that, video screens into infinity. Whoa, that's pretty cool actually. Oh no. Anyways, all right. So in this video, that was a little bit crazy, and now go for a crazy ride. All right, let me get the camera set up here on my little post. Okay, so this video is going to be about multiplying and dividing fractions. All right, so yeah, I might do a conceptual one later. For this one, this is just going to be how we multiply and divide fractions. So a pretty simple one. So and whole numbers as well. So anytime we think about multiplying fractions, we need to keep in mind that we always multiply straight across. All right. So here, the reason for that, well, if I get into a conceptual video, I'll get into the reason for that. But anyways, let's say I have 2 times 1/2, and you might also see it sometimes it's 2 times 1/2, right? Parentheses means multiplication. So, well, this means that I'm going to multiply these straight across. So, well, how do I do that? Because that number is a whole number, and I'm multiplying a whole number times a fraction. We can always represent a whole number as a fraction. So really, this is 2/1 times, right, 1/2. And so multiplying straight across, I'm going to get 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. All right. And then we always simplify our fractions if we can. So 2/2, that simplifies to 1. And so 2 times 1/2 is 1. So it's a whole number times a fraction. If I have a fraction, let's see, 7/5 times 4/3. Again, just multiply straight across. So 4 times 7, it's going to be 28. And then 5 times 3 is 15. And so that's 28/15. And this does not have any common factors. And so I'm going to write it like that. Could have written it as a mixed number too, but in general, I tend to prefer these improper fractions. So it's multiplying fractions. Remember, just like in multiplying integer values or whole numbers, we multiply fractions, the negative rules apply. So a negative times a positive, or if they have different signs, then it's going to be a negative answer. If they have the same signs, it'll be positive. So negative times a negative is a positive, and a positive times a positive is positive. All right, so those rules apply for multiplying, right? And now dividing, we get into dividing here. Couple ways you'll see division of fractions. You might see something like this, 3/1/3, which could also be written as, right? Can write it a couple ways. I could say, well, let's say I'm saying 3 divided by 1/3. So those both mean the same thing. And really, this is just multiplying by the reciprocal. Here, if I multiply this by 3/1, then this all cancels out, and I just have 1 in the denominator, so it's no longer a compound fraction there. But then I have to multiply this by 3/1 as well, which gives me 3/3. Now let's simplify it. 3 times 3/1, which is just 3, right? Which is just 3. So that equals 9. Here, it's the same thing. I'm just going to multiply by the reciprocal. And so I can write this as 3 times the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3 over 1, which again is just 3. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, same answer. These are really, I mean, the same thing, just 2 ways you might see it. And then this applies for fractions. Divide not just a whole number by a fraction, but also a fraction by a fraction by a fraction. So 2/3 divided by 1/5. Well, that's just going to be, all right, can convert that into, let's just multiplying by the reciprocal again. So 2/3 times 5 over 1, which is 10/3, and we're done. All right, so dividing, multiplying by the reciprocal, then multiply straight across, and then multiplying, we just multiply straight across. All right, so it's a quick review of multiplying, dividing fractions. And again, I might do a video showing conceptually why we do that later on.